What is going on, bros? It is I, T Shroom, here for the Investing Bros. Going to be taking you through another record-setting day for Bitcoin. Man, it just seems like every single day it just keeps getting more and more bullish. I've got a show chocked full of bullishness for you. We do have a little bit of a snag with the Ethereum ETF story. Again, we'll be getting to that and what to expect for that event coming on May 23rd. As we inch closer, optimism does seem to be waning. I'll be getting more details for you here in the later part of the show. Let's go ahead and jump on to the crypto bubbles, and it is Floki that is leading the top 100 yet again. Also behind me here, you can see PEEF doing really, really well, up almost 16% there. Theta up 21, Near up 15, and a lot more getting a good bid here. Litecoin up 8.6%. But it is Bitcoin that is stealing the show yet again. So we will jump on over to the Bitcoin charts. And right here on the hourly, you can see that Bitcoin has indeed pushed quite a bit ahead here. Now let's zoom in and you can see here. 71,000 was already an all-time high. And you can see here, we put that in this morning. And it has been just up since then. About another 1.2 icing on the cake percentage points there for Bitcoin spot price. So there's a whole lot to glean from this occurrence. Of course, Bitcoin here hugging the top end of the Bollinger Band, even on the 1 hourly chart, kind of showing its strength here in the early minutes of this week here. The March goes on for Bitcoin. Let's see out on the daily chart what we can't pull out here. Bitcoin was starting to pull away from the top line, the top band of the Bollinger Band here, and now it's headed back. Can it get back up there and continue its long and enduring hug with that top band? Well, if the news is any consolation, it can, and we'll see. Of course, the Bollinger Band is not the end-all, be-all by any means, but it would be nice to see it get back up and in that range. You can see the back here, all through February, all through that bullishness, there was quite a bit of time spent up above that top line of the Bollinger Band, and then we did get a pull away. Finally, some accumulation, allowing altcoins such as Chainlink and others to kind of do their thing and burst higher, and then opening up the floodgates for Bitcoin to make this gigantic move that it's made so far. So it's really exciting, bros, and I'm super, super honored that you would tune in and spend some time with us here. I am T Shroom, and we go live 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. And we also go live at 3 p.m. with my trusty partner, Tim. We do our 3 p.m. show, and we'd love for you to join us there as well. But for now, let's go ahead and jump on into the news. And it doesn't get much more bullish for Bitcoin. Eric Balkanis showing that, yes, we have just reached the 2-month mark. The first 2 months officially in the books. It feels like 6. And the 10 Bitcoin ETFs are now over 55 billion in assets, with exactly double that in volume at 110 billion. If these were the numbers at the end of year, I'd call them a success. To do it in 8 weeks is simply absurd. So it's the first 2 months of the Bitcoin spot ETF being traded publicly on the New York Stock Exchange. It's very, very exciting. You can see here it's just been an up movement all through February. And now, of course, through almost toward the middle of March here. Getting to that midpoint of March, it's not too far away. So the ETFs have been very, very successful in the United States. It's been some of the most successful ETFs ever to grace any exchange globally. But if you take a look here, you can also see that that IBIT, the BlackRock ETF, is actually really, really high. So it's number 3 out of all of the ETFs here, and it is just absolutely insane. Let's take a look here. He said something else I wouldn't predict is IBIT and FBTC, number 3 and 4 in year-to-date flows among alt ETFs in mid-March, up there with perennial studs, VOO, IVV, VTI. So Absolutely. It's really, really crazy to see, but we're seeing it, and we're likely to just continue to see more of it. And one of the reasons for that is because London has seen the success we've had in the United States, and they are making some changes around Bitcoin. London Stock Exchange to accept Bitcoin and Ethereum ETN applications starting next quarter. So this coming as soon as next quarter, this could be pretty big. Before I dive into this one, guys, I do want to just give a shout out to the bros. Looks like Gia S jumping in saying, good morning. Have to lurk today. Looks like she's got some stuff she's got to do. The Dusty Hunt said, Sailor was awesome on CNBC this morning. Oh, I have not seen that. I've definitely got to check that out. Thanks, Dusty Hunt, for bringing that to our attention. And yes, we did have a time change. Some folks are adamant that the time did not change, but it indeed did. It indeed did. Dylan Martinez says, feels like the MM wanted ETPs to be successful to get everyone's attention. Yeah, definitely feels that way for sure. A to Ace said, up and to the right it goes. So we've got all kind of bros jumping in here and laying down the law, laying it down this morning. Crypto Freddy said, good morning, my bros. We going to the moon, baby. Yeah, it definitely seems like it. It definitely seems like we could make a run at the moon here. Well, let's jump into the rest of this London news here. The UK's Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, has stated that it will not object to requests from recognized investment exchanges, RIEs, to create a market segment for crypto-backed ETNs. So they will not object is kind of the wording that they've said here. How bullish is this? I think it's very bullish because up until now, they've not wanted to do this. They've basically held the position that these are not viable investments, and they have no place on the London Stock Exchange. Well, that's changed as of today. Another major development across the pond, as they say in the UK, is that the Financial Times, one of the bigger financial publications in the UK, I believe, is running this headline: Bitcoin bulls are not the bigger fools. So you can see here, it is starting to spread like wildfire here in the UK. When Bitcoin was all the rage at the start of this decade, many serious investors and traditional economists spurned as useless fad, even a fraud. Their scorn, seemingly confirmed by its crash in 2022, persists today while the currency separates itself from the pack. So, this is obviously kind of I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's a very booming article and ultimately pretty bearish for those who are reading it, and I'm sorry, did I say bearish? Very bullish for those reading it, right? And also very bullish for those who are already in possession of their Bitcoin. So it's pretty radical. Is the UK a bigger market than the United States? Absolutely not. It is not bigger, but it is very, very big. I believe in the top 5 at least, if not in the top 3 world equities exchanges. So for another ETF to being brought to wealthy investors, that is going to be very, very big and can just lead to continued adoption, continued inflow into the coin. Let's see. Dylan Martinez chiming in. He said, Michael, new name should be Sailor Moon. Very good, very good. A gesture there to the anime. Greg Gressick saying, hey, Taylor. What's up, Greg? What is up, Greg? Greg is a real good friend of the channel, good friend of mine and Tim's. So it's awesome to see Greg tuning in here. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into yet another bit of very, very bullish news here, guys. Bitcoin has officially flipped silver. I cannot believe it. It's here. The day has finally come. Of course, now everybody's setting their attention here to Google, the next entity to be flipped here. Google rocking out at $1.68 trillion per share. No, that's not how much it is per share. That's the overall market cap there for Google. Bitcoin not too far behind. Currently, the market cap for Bitcoin at $1.414 trillion, and it's only getting bigger. Of course, silver just below. It's the one that has been flipped today. Can you believe it? All of Bitcoin is worth more than silver now. Something that has been, global currency for centuries. is now less valuable as a whole in market cap than Bitcoin. So, it's a monumental day, and hopefully this will help some folks kind of change their mind. We're going to be hearing from some wealthy investors, some billionaires in our Billionaire Corner a little bit later as we kind of hear maybe there's a little bit of a tune change among the world's wealthiest folks. Well, if you have been trading, if you've been investing in crypto, that there's all kinds of opportunities. One opportunity that we wanted to bring to you all is this from our partner, our exchange partner, Blofin. You have 2 days left to go ahead and sign up for Blofin and start trading. Every 50,000 USDT volume that you trade, you get a free spin, and you can win an Apple Vision Pro or an iPhone 15 or any of these other cash prizes as well. So if you're already a profitable trader, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain by just going ahead and using the link in our description. It's actually, I believe it's the very first link in the description. Yes, this one just right here, Blowfin, spin the wheel and go ahead and start trading on our platform here that we're partnered with, Blofin, and you could be trading on the Apple Vision Pro before you know it. So go ahead and jump over there, click that link, and you have a chance to win some pretty cool prizes. All right, well, let's go ahead and dip into our Billionaires Corner. We're gonna hear from one of the influential heroes, kind of my testimony of getting into financial freedom and ultimately buying Bitcoin. That is Robert Kiyosaki. He said, Baby boomers bust. Tragically, biggest bubble in history will wipe out baby boomers because boomers are the first generation with flimsy 401ks. Stock market set to crash. Time to get real is now. Buy real assets, gold, silver, Bitcoin, before the biggest bubble in history goes bust. So that was tweeted out at 1 a.m. last night, or noon, or what, I don't know. With the time change, who knows? He's out there in California, El Segundo. I like that. I like that name, El Segundo. But he's obviously, gesturing at something pretty drastic here, saying that there could be a stock market crash. I guess this year. That this is bearish, because if there's a stock market crash, yes, I think in the long term, Bitcoin is unaffected. But in the short term, I would have to imagine that there's going to be some kind of correlation, right? I don't think that you can have a huge sell-off in risk assets such as U.S. equities and not have a bit of downside for Bitcoin as well. Well, we'll have to see. It's just one billionaire's opinion, right? Robert Kiyosaki. And I mentioned that he was a big part of me getting into what I'm doing now, bringing you all, the crypto finance news. Well, his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, was the first book that I read that kind of talked about passive income, talked about, pursuing financial freedom. And so, it's been really awesome to see him get into Bitcoin. He wasn't always into Bitcoin. As a gold bug, as many gold bugs are, they're kind of cheering their main asset on right now as it's hitting new all-time highs, gold, right? The world's oldest currency. But it was really nice to see him kind of flip over and also buy up some Bitcoin, as he recognizes that it is the new gold. It is the gold for the digital age. Well, I've got something here that's kind of interesting. This is I don't know how accurate this is. This could be a complete farce, but this chart here, definitely from Master BTC LTC, says once Bitcoin breaks all-time high, it's time to get Litecoin. So this is something, and I'm not endorsing that statement, but this is a somewhat compelling chart. If you take a look here, the last time that we had Bitcoin hitting all-time highs in the previous cycle, we did see kind of a consolidation period for Litecoin that ended up breaking out quite precipitously, obviously to the upside. So it's something to look at, as that same pattern does seem to be emerging there on the Litecoin charts. Am I saying go out and buy Litecoin? I'm not. I think Litecoin is something you need to do a lot of research on here, but it is a crypto, and cryptos are doing quite well these days. There's a possibility that you're going to want to take a look at it, do your own research. I will let you guys know if I make an allocation to Litecoin, but as of now, do not have any Litecoin on my HODL bag. So there you go. Let's see exactly what's going on here. Crypto Freddy said, Cali boy over here too. So it's not just Robert Kiyosaki. There's other people that live in California. Wow. Shocker. Why Crypto said, could you check out, please, a coin? Yeah, I'll be looking at some coins. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll be looking at some coins here. Let's see. There's all kinds of GM bros, said Dona Cabrera. Dylan Martinez said LOL, so getting some laughs here. That's all I'm trying to do, guys. Just trying to wake you up, get you excited for this week. Mondays can be difficult, so I'm doing everything I can to help you wake up and get your mind right. Green said, I sold 80% a couple days ago. Sold 80% of something, so not sure exactly what he means. Maybe stocks, that would make sense because so did I, but it was a lot longer than a couple days ago. I've been out of stocks for almost 3 months now. I sold off all of my Google and Amazon and Tesla. I did not sell my Microsoft, so I still do have Microsoft. I'm not completely out of stocks. Also, I have a ton of Bitcoin mining stocks as well, so not getting rid of those. Do not plan on doing that. But yeah, ultimately, now let's take a gaze over here at the Ethereum charts as we get into our next phase here. This is the Ethereum charts on the daily, and as you can see, Ethereum doing real well, continuing to trade well above the midline of the Bollinger Band here. It is quite a bit oversold. Overbought. Excuse me. Over here on the Lux Algo Oscillator Matrix, you can see the money flow is still positive. So this overbought indicator, may need to be adjusted here. No, just kidding. It's accurate, guys, but ultimately, it's Ethereum, right? These are bullish days, or at least so we thought. One thing here to note is that we got a tweet yesterday, I believe it was 2 p.m. Yeah, about 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here from Eleanor Tourette. And she said, "Scoop. Optimism about the SEC government approving the Ethereum spot ETF by May 23rd is waning." So these are not the words that we wanted to see, but this was the vibe that I was getting towards the end of the week last week, because Eric Wilconis, who was the main journalist that was reporting on the spot Bitcoin ETF approval, he was saying that he was not seeing what he wanted to see when it comes to this Ethereum spot ETF approval process. Based on her conversations, based on Eleanor's conversations with people familiar with the subject, meeting in recent weeks have been very much one-sided, okay, with issuers and custodians trying to rally the SEC staff to get the process rolling, but staff not really engaging in meaningful ways like they did with the BTC spot ETF applications. She goes on to speculate a good bit on exactly why that might be. But ultimately, is this time different? Right? And I think it absolutely is different. Whether or not the outcome will be different is still very much up in the air, still yet to be seen. The SEC has a lot going on, and ultimately there's a lot of different reasons why their staff may be hesitant to cooperate with BlackRock and other spot ETF applicants. But more than likely, this is just the SEC doing what they do best, which is delaying. And they don't have to make the decision until May 23rd. And one thing I will point out is that a lot of the heavy lifting, a lot of the back and forth that would be done here, you could make the argument that we're not seeing it, not because the SEC isn't going to approve the spot Ethereum ETF, but it's because it's already been done, right? All of that language, all of the boilerplate can just be copied and pasted over from the Bitcoin spot ETF application. Now, of course, it's different. It's a different asset. First of all, you can stake Ethereum, right? And so there's reoccurring revenue that can come from the Ethereum asset, unlike Bitcoin that cannot be staked. You can't get reoccurring revenue from it. So there's definitely going to need to be some additional coordination, some additional understanding, I would expect, from the SEC on the Ethereum spot ETF. But zooming out here, guys, the expert journalists that I trust are not feeling good about the prospect of Ethereum spot ETF being approved in May 23rd. So that, I'm reading it as best as I can. I think my opinion at this point is it's not looking good, but I still am putting my money where my mouth is. My bet, I'm not selling my Ethereum, right? I think it still does get across the finish line and it does get approved on May 23rd. I really do believe that as of now. I'm not seeing any reason to think that they would not approve it. I'm not seeing what I want to see to feel good about that, but I still do think that's going to be the case. It's still going to get approved. But right now, the SEC is doing everything they can to just delay, right? Which is something they do very, very well, and they can be expected to do ongoing into the future. So we'll be covering this more. Bloomberg, they have not issued their rating yet for what percentage likelihood that the Ethereum ETF will be approved. So that is something I've been looking out for as well. Hopefully they're not delaying that because that percentage is going to be sub 50. We'll see. Ethereum definitely has some certainty in the name right now. Will there be a pullback if they were to delay it? If they were to or deny it? Yes, absolutely. I think that there would be a pullback in the price for Ethereum, but there would likely be a lawsuit from the applicants, just for a variety of reasons that I don't really want to get into right now because it'd be very time consuming. But ultimately, guys, just in summary, it's not looking good for the Ethereum spot ETF as of today. The SEC staff have not really cooperated with the applicants in the same way they did for Bitcoin. My overall perspective on it is that I do still think that the SEC will go ahead and approve the spot Ethereum ETF on May 23rd. But that could change. My opinion on that, my interpretation of what I'm seeing from Eleanor, from Eric, and I haven't heard a lot from James Seyfert, but from the folks that I know, like, and trust in that journalistic world, I'm not seeing what I would like to see, but I'm not counting it out yet. Now let's go ahead and get back into the bullishness here. We've talked a little bit about kind of this bearish tone, this bearish cloud that may be coming over the crypto space, that may be affecting Ethereum here pretty soon. Now let's get back into the bullish world, because after all, Bitcoin is hitting all-time highs again. Let's see what Crux has to say here. He said 99.8% approval chance by BlackRock who should submit an ETF. Good luck beating those odds. Yeah. So that is another very big mark for the Ethereum spot ETF being approved, is that BlackRock is one of the applicants, right? And its approval rating is exactly what Crux just said. It's 99.8%. And the only ETF applications that they've lost, was very stupid. If you go back and look at exactly what that application was about, it was a very experimental, almost activist type of application where they did not necessarily expect it to be passed. It had nothing to do with crypto at all. It was something completely separate entirely. But let's go ahead and get back into. Thank you, Crux, for chiming in. That is very helpful to know. So let's take a look here. Bill Ackman has said some things. We're still in our billionaire corner as well. A scenario: Bitcoin price rise leads to increased mining and greater energy use, driving up the cost of energy, causing inflation to rise and the dollar to decline, driving demand for Bitcoin and increasing mining, driving demand for energy, and the cycle continues. Bitcoin goes to infinity, energy prices skyrocket, and the economy collapses. Maybe I should buy some Bitcoin. So obviously you can spot a couple of fallacies in there, but none other. Bitcoin. Bill Ackman is a very wealthy and very influential activist investor. When he invests or when he says things, people all over Wall Street and all over the trading world, they pay attention. Now, of course, his conclusion here is the one that stuck out, and the reason it's come across my desk. Maybe I should buy some Bitcoin. So Bill Ackman hopefully would not buy based on this paragraph of information, which is riddled with logical fallacies. But Michael Saylor, the real account, jumps in here and says, you should buy Bitcoin, but not for the reasons cited above. I agree. Most Bitcoin miners are driving the cost of electricity down for other consumers, not up. Let me know if you would like to discuss one-on-one. So hopefully he took that meeting. We'll see. Then again, and then Peter Schiff chimes in. So we'll read this for the giggles. He said, then again, maybe you shouldn't. But if you really intend to buy Bitcoin, the last thing you would have done was posted your intention to do so. The market is thin and rises sharply on hype. Your post only makes sense if your true intention is to short Bitcoin or better, MSTR. Nice. So MSTR, the ticker for the company of which Michael Saylor is the leader. So you got a little heat. You got a little heat in the chat there over on X, and you expect nothing less. But speaking of MSTR, we've got some news from MicroStrategies. MicroStrategies just bought another 821 million Bitcoin, so we knew it was coming, right? They're actually funded this through debt, I believe, this time. So it's pretty significant that they would just go ahead and pull the trigger on the whole chunk to buy Bitcoin. They say it holds now 205,000 Bitcoin bought for $6.9 billion. MicroStrategies is now $7.7 billion in profit on its Bitcoin investment. Man, it has just been an absolute crazy roller coaster for MicroStrategies, of which they are at the highs of today. Man, it's absolutely crazy. A return of 112% so far as Bitcoin breaks a new all-time high this morning of 72,000 and rising towards 100,000. So there he is, big smile on his face, Michael Saylor. Well, guys, it is just there's so much more bullish news. Should I get to it? I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to crack open a whole nother can of worms here. But yeah, ultimately, I think we'll leave it there, guys. We've got some more bullish news, but I think I'm going to save it for the 3 p.m. show. Right now, you have everything you need to know for your trading day that are going to affect your crypto portfolio. Guys, ultimately, I really appreciate you all tuning in here on March 11th. Daylight savings time joke, insert here because it's early or it's late, wherever you're watching. I myself do feel a little bit tired. You must excuse me for my lower energy levels maybe than you're used to, but it is it is a little my sleep cycle is a little out of whack because of the daylight savings. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you're a bro out there in India or South America or North America. Maybe here in Florida where I am. Maybe you're feeling a little bit tired, a little laggy because of the daylight savings time adjustment here. Crux of Crypto chiming in said MSTR is now number 2 behind BlackRock due to iShares ETF in institutional Bitcoin amount. That's correct. That's correct. And if you add all of the spot Bitcoin ETFs, I believe together they do hold more than MSTR. So it makes sense that MicroStrategies is going hard here, taking out some debt to be able to buy Bitcoin. Man, could you imagine being that loan officer? I believe that's how they did it. I don't think they sold more shares. I can't remember, but it is pretty crazy. Let's see. Drew XRP said, "I'm tired." Eric, a mellow fellow said, "Eric is taking most of my profits this market to buy more Bitcoin." That's good stuff. All right, guys, well, make sure to tune in here at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tim was away on Friday and Saturday last week, so we'll be getting his fresh thoughts here on the market as we're hitting all-time freaking highs on Bitcoin. Man, as tired as I am, it is still undeniably exciting, and I cannot wait to dive more into the charts with you all at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll just shout out some other names that are doing really well this morning as we close. AVAX up 11, almost 12% there. Caspa up 5%. We got to go jump and look at the Caspa charts here. So Caspa actually finding some support. You guys, if you tuned in on Friday, you saw Tradefly and I kind of looking at the Caspa charts. He had me draw a line that was pretty accurate here of where Caspa may have gotten its reversal. Now it could get another reversal. It didn't even get up to the midline of the Bollinger Bands back here on March 7th and March 8th. So it could kind of fall short. So far it is. Fall short of getting putting in a new high here. A new high for Caspa would be all the way back up at 18, call it 19 cents. Yeah, it needs to get back up there. Right now it is up almost 5%, but is only trading at 15.4. So that is going to be one of the bigger coins that I hold. I really like Caspa. and hoping that it does continue to get a bid. Stacks doing really well, up almost 8%. Render up almost 6% this morning. So a lot of these names doing really, really well. Guys, again, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tim is going to be back on the show. Hope that you tune in, and I hope that you guys stay hydrated today. And if you're trading, make sure that you keep your stop losses tight. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.